President Obama spent Labor Day on the road talking about the state of the economy, and that follows reports both the auto industry and the housing market sales saw low sales in August. So how will that impact our overall economy? Jim Huntzinger from the Bank of Oklahoma is back with us to talk about these particular areas. Good to see you again.
Morning.
You know, we have you come in periodically to kind of give us a pulse of what's going on, and these numbers were significantly down. Tell us what that means.
You're referring to the housing market, and it's good that we start there because housing is so critically important for the whole economy. It drives consumer behavior because it is the single largest asset that consumers have, is the equity that they have in their home. It's not their 401k balances, it's not other savings instruments, it's really the equity they have in their home. And so, as you know, home prices have come down dramatically across the country, and along with that, sales have come plummeting down. So here recently what's happened is the housing market has stabilized somewhat. Sales are still kind of punk and so still challenged, but home prices have begun to show some stabilization, and actually over the last 4 or 5 months we've actually seen improvements a little bit in home prices. So I think at this point it's more important that we have home prices stabilized than we have sales really start to pick up again, because I think the sales issue is going to lag for quite some time now. Let's
talk about the auto industry, because this time last year we had the Cars for Clunkers campaign, and that really boosted those numbers.
They did. Cash for Clunkers had a positive influence in the auto industry last year, and now we're kind of paying for it because we drew forward a lot of activity, purchase activity that would have taken place throughout the year, and now we moved it back forward into August of last year. So if you look at the numbers, for instance, GM is down about 25% from a year ago. Some of the others are down 16 to 17% from a year ago, and so they're struggling a little bit in here. And more recently, auto sales have not been particularly good. August was a bad month for the auto manufacturers. One other point. Auto sales are running currently at about 11.5 million sales per year. That's the run rate that we're on, and that's down from about 16 million prior to the recession. So you can see there's been a pretty dramatic decline in the way American consumers are buying cars.
Before we let you go, let's touch on the unemployment rate, which came out, the numbers came out last Friday.
Right.
We hit a high, came down a little bit, and now we've peaked back up just a smidge.
Yeah, at the worst we were just over 10% in the unemployment rate in the country. We dropped down to 9.5%, and then last month, August, we ticked back up to 9.6%. So it's clear at this point that the employment situation in the country is still troubled. The economy is not, we're generating positive economic growth right now, but it's not positive enough for us to have an impact on unemployment. So that unemployment rate is going to remain sticky high for quite some time, I'm afraid.
All right. Well, as always, we appreciate your insight, and we look for better times still ahead.
You bet.
All right. Thank you very much. Jim Huntzinger with the Bank of Oklahoma.